episode 3975, The Power of Silence.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're ready for an extraordinary week because guess what? It is Monday. It's time to get your thoughts where they belong so you can go out and impact the world that you touch. But it's all in the power of silence. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter to keep it simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. Okay, are you ready? Now, I'm going to just tell you right here off the bat, there might be some quiet times in this episode. So don't think I've melted away or fallen off the face of the earth for a second or two or three when all of a sudden nothing's happening. You may not even hear breathing. There's a reason for that. So just so you're not freaking out going, what happened? Is something not working? And you have to push the buttons frantically. You know how all of a sudden the sound goes? Okay, yeah, there's a reason for that. So I just want to tell you that because sometimes we're surprised in all the best ways, but then it kind of defeats the purpose because we're like, wait, what? I don't want to miss anything. And I appreciate that. That's what I love about you, that you tune in here every single day, you subscribe, you share. Thank you. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart because I'm not here because I want to be here. I'm here because you show up, and that means I show up too because I want to show up for us. We're family. We get to do life together. And as I was thinking about everything that's happening in this world today, and quite frankly, there's a lot. I could sit here and just have this Santa Claus list of stuff that's happening in the world. But then I think we would get derailed because we would go into this moment of, I can't change anything. But yes, you can. Because it comes from what you do, how you impact the world that you touch with the gifts and talents that God has given you. And so today I want you to think a little bit differently. And this is coming from, honestly, from the Olympics. And I'll kind of clue you in here as we go along. But sports is something amazing. It teaches so many things in life. And I love the Olympics. In fact, we went out to lunch with my son and his girlfriend yesterday, and it was so much fun because they had basketball games on. That's great. College games. Okay, great, fine. But I'm like, excuse me, nobody's watching this. Could we turn on the Olympics? And she goes, oh yeah. She goes, a couple days ago we had it on, and I was watching the figure skating. And I said, yes. I said, they've got the hockey game and figure skating on right now, and it only happens every 4 years. She goes, yeah, you're right. Sometimes I think we just kind of go through the motions thinking that it's just going to be there. And we take things for granted so easily because we have so much coming at us. Our lives are flooded with noise, incessant messages screaming for attention, endless notifications begging for a glance, right? How many pings go off and you're like, wait, stop, right? Countless demands pulling us in all directions. It's no wonder we feel confused and disoriented, overwhelmed by the mass distractions that invade even a single hour. Take a moment and absorb the power of silence. Now, I know it's hard to be still in silence, isn't it? That probably felt like an eternity for you. It does because we're like, wait, there's got to be more. She's going to continue with something. I'm missing something. I got to turn up the volume. Something happened. Christiane, where are you? But you see, we are so trained. We have become enamored by busyness. And if we're not always doing something, we don't know what to do. Think about that for a minute. If we're not always doing something, we don't know what to do. We can't sit still. It's hard to be still in silence. Think about how many alerts, emails, texts, and tasks are stacking up in that tiny slice of time. How many do you get in one day? And maybe for you, you need to think about an hour, depending upon how your day works, what you do, etc., right? If you're in the corporate world, your phone might be ringing off the hook every 5 minutes. So just looking at an hour might be okay. But if you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you're thinking, how many screams am I going to get from the kiddos, right? I mean, let's be real. Or if you're dealing with the dinner dishes and dogs, you might be, well, I hear the dogs, but it's more like the, alarm of going off as to what I have to pull out of the oven, or the beeper from the washing machine to put the stuff in the dryer, right? What is it? What is it that is pulling you in all different directions? Usually we bite off more than we can chew, and then we get choked up by the pressure of what's next. So imagine what would happen if you intentionally stepped back and embraced silence. Not the kind of silence where you're idled or checked out, where nothing happens, but a powerful, purposeful silence where your mind clears and your focus sharpens. The real power of silence is in the intentional pause. And it's in that pause where you're choosing to step away from the chaos, the scrambling, and the noise so you can regain control and clarity. This kind of silence fuels concentration, not distraction. It tunes your mindset toward precision rather than panic. It demands intentionality from every decision rather than letting your choices be hijacked by whatever shouts the loudest. It ignites focus, determination, and hope rather than fatigue and confusion. And you wonder why you go up a flight of stairs and you're exhausted. Maybe it has nothing to do with your stamina. Maybe you are physically fit. But in that walk of one flight of stairs, you had 2 text messages, 8 email notifications, a telephone call, and then something else that just went off. I call that ridiculous. It's literally almost a distraction or an interruption for each step that you took up those flights of stairs. When you harness the power of silence, my friend, you're not running from life. You're engaging with it on your own terms. You're setting your own rhythm instead of reacting to the world's frantic speed. Isn't it about time that we just slow down so we can speed up and engage with intentional silence every day? And that is your Kiss to Keep It Simple strategy. Engage with intentional silence every day. And again, the silence isn't about just sitting down doing absolutely nothing. Maybe it's reflecting. Maybe it's allowing yourself to say, okay, I've got these 3 things that I need to do and accomplish. But what does it look like? How can I get from point A to point B and then point B to point C to D, etc., right? How do you map it out? If we don't take time to do that with intentionality and we're just floating through our day, it's no wonder that we're confused. It's no wonder we're walking around. Have you ever been in a room where it's pitch black? Like, let's say you go to a hotel. Now, most of them have little night lights now. But back in the day, they did not. And you had to leave on a light and pull the door closed so there would be a light. But if you were bold and brave enough, you would have all the lights off and you'd have to get up in the middle of the night and you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh, I don't want to wake up anybody in the room. So you go to the bathroom, you close the door, and all of a sudden it's like so pitch black, you can't even see what you're doing. Somehow you sit on the toilet and do your business. Somehow you get everything put back where it needs to be. But now you're standing there going, how do I get out of here? It's so dark. You're not used to the room. You don't know where you are. But it's there in that silent moment that you get to figure something out. And somehow there's the door, you find it, and you open up and you breathe a refreshment of air. It really does help when we slow down so we can speed up. We allow ourselves to process things mentally. Let's go back to the Olympics for a minute. Have you been watching them? Oh my goodness, the stories that are coming out of them. If I could just sit here and list them all to you, but that would be Mama Sports Center, and we would have a wonderful time, let me tell you, because it's all about the stories, right? We get to write our own stories every single day. We get a new piece of paper that then forms a chapter in a week. It's beautiful. And sometimes, though, we write words that we really don't like. We have things that happen to us or at us, and we don't know how to deal with them. But sometimes it's in those quiet, still moments, the silence, where the best lessons are learned. You see, it was very interesting listening to the speed skating and listening to the stories there, listening to the ice skating. Did you watch the men's free skate and their short program? Short program for United States was amazing, right? Ilya did it tremendously, right? Blew it off. He was number one, top, yes, go, right? What happened during the free skate? Fell apart, didn't it? If you didn't know, go back and watch the replay if you can. Catch it on. I'm sure it's somewhere out there, unfortunately. For him, I say that. Because he was and is called the quad god. He was supposed to do, I believe, 7 quads in his free skate. He did 2 at the beginning, but in every other one, basically, there was a mishap. And he pulled out of one to only end up with a single, pulled out of another to do a double, not a quad. And here he had all of this pressure of being the number one. I mean, he could have mistakes and still get the gold medal. But he fell. He didn't get the points that he needed for the technical score. A lot of people, if you watch and see online, they're making all of these comments as if like, oh, well, you should have done this, you should have done this. Let me tell you, as an ice skater, don't pull that unless you know ice, because you don't know what it's like to be in their shoes, number one. Now, I'm saying that because we're going to analyze this here for a minute too. So you got to be careful what you put out there, okay? If you're going to respond directly, I'm just saying be kind. Be kind, because you don't know where he was. Only he does. He only knows where his mind was. But I will say this. There's a lot of noise around him. There was a lot of noise when it came to the team competition for ice skating. And he didn't do really well. And he had to get on social media. Notice how I said that he had to get on. Did he really? Did he really have to get on and explain himself? What if he would have tapped into the power of silence and said, you know what? Off goes social media. This is my time. This is Mama Sports Center coming out right now, and me. Honestly, I get a little bit tired of the media in our athletes' faces all the time. Let them do their job. Let them finish it, and then you can talk to them when it's all complete. Stop interrupting their mindset. Now, some will say, oh, but that's the thing. You have to do your media appearances and all of this. Really? You go try and do that. It's easier to be behind the camera than in front of the camera. You're asking these elite athletes, and I'm talking about anybody and everybody, not just the ice skaters. I'm talking about every athlete that's out there, a basketball player, a hockey player, a football player, a gymnast, whatever your sport is. Yes, some would say you've got to be the elite of the elite and be able to handle it all, but we're also human. And there's something called silence that opens up this treasure trove of focus and clarity. Could we, the noise, have been something that created this mass craziness for our U.S. skater? I mean, think about that for a minute. Should we be bearing some of that responsibility? Now, I know the backlash right now is going to be, now, Christiane, that sounds a little wrong because, he's the elite athlete. I get that. But I also get that there's a lot of noise. And there was a lot of weight on his shoulders. I want you to take yourself to a lot of noise, even if you have to go back 20 years when your kids were younger. Oh, I remember. 5 little kids, homeschooling, 5 kids under the age of 8. Oh, the beautiful days. Yet they were chaotic and they were loud and they were fun and joyous and lots of giggles and tears too. But you see, there were intentional moments as a mama, as a teacher, as a wife, as a laundry cleaner, as a chef, right? Put on all my hats, where silence was golden. And it was in that silence that the impact was created. What if Ilya had that opportunity and said, you know what, I'm not going to respond to this when it comes to what happened at the team event. Honestly, it's none of their business. He's right. And then going into his individual free skate and short program. He did awesome at the short program. And then his comment was he felt really confident. He felt ready as he hit the ice. Some people would say, oh, well, that was just being overconfident. Can you be overconfident? Or was it that the nerves were just shifting a little different direction? And the silence was actually louder. Or maybe the noise was actually louder. Because it was like, if you fall, it will hurt even more. And look what happened. So I bring all of this up because a lot of us around the world are watching the Olympics, right? We don't all watch football. I love it, right? But we have this draw to the Olympics, and I love it, winter or summer. I love the Olympics. I love seeing all the athletes. Of course, we're all rooting for our own country, but let me tell you, I want all of our countries to do the best. Those elite athletes have worked hard. And yeah, you want your country to be on the top, right? You want them to get the gold or the silver or the bronze. But that doesn't mean that it's any less than if you come in 10th, 15th, 20th, or 36th place. Because let me tell you, they're always an Olympian. But for some reason, we get in our heads that we got to shout louder. How does that translate to you in your life? Do you feel like you have to shout louder to be noticed? Do you have to have more accolades to say, hey, look at me, here I am? What if you were to quiet down a little bit, to focus more, to engage with intentional silence every day and see the shift when it comes to reaching your goals, to obtaining your dreams, to creating the lifestyle that you really want, to being on purpose every single day? So what does it look like to embrace and engage this intentional silence every day? Well, number 1, schedule silence like a meeting. I know that sounds strange. You're like, Christiane, I don't get a breath of fresh air, let alone you want me to schedule silence. Yep, go to the bathroom. Seriously. It may be in the shower. That might be your silence time. So instead of a 10-minute shower, you're going to schedule it for 15 minutes. And you're going to have some time of just clarity, of thinking. Because if you want silence to work for you, you have to treat it seriously. So block a consistent time on your calendar. Like I said, the shower works great. TMI, maybe going to the bathroom too works too. Whatever you need to do. And it might be the season. I'm traveling a lot. For me, it's in the car. I turn off everything and I love the silence. All I hear are the cars going by and me and my thoughts. That's it. So when you block a consistent time, and you want this consistent time to be a span long enough to think, to reflect, and to strategize without distraction. You don't want to get interrupted. So if you have a little one at home, do it during nap time. Guard this time as fiercely as you would a doctor's appointment or an important deadline. You want to protect it. Treat it well, and it will take you far. Number 2, create a distraction-free zone. I know we're moms. It doesn't happen that way, does it? Okay, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But silence doesn't just mean shutting your mouth, shutting your lips, right? It doesn't mean that. It means shutting down the constant digital noise too. So guess what? Pick up your phone. Turn off the notifications. Turn them off. How many tabs you have open on your computer? Don't look at mine. You do not want to say, because I'm guilty as charged. I have too many. But I will tell you this, I have them grouped. So I can smush all of them down to only like 8 tabs, and my computer looks so clean, and I love it. So that's how I create a distraction-free zone. Maybe put your phone in another room if you have to. It's okay. Your environment must support your purpose. What is it that you need during this season of life that you're trying to be on point with? And then finally, number 3, use silence to guide action, not avoid it. Intentional silence isn't procrastination dressed up as meditation. It's a tool to sharpen your clarity and set your direction. So it's not about saying, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. I'm going to pretend like I'm thinking. No. It truly is to sharpen your clarity. It's to give you that space. Our minds are full of so many things, right? I mean, right now as I'm recording for you, you can't hear it, but there is a train horn going off. And that train track is only 2 blocks over from me. Now you can't hear it, but oh my goodness, I can hear it. And as it comes in, I could get trapped up in how many times they're honking it. Now they are required to do that in our city because there was an accident that happened. And so at every train crossing, they have to do it. And so I hear it for a few minutes. It's not a big deal. We've got great insulation. Now I share this with you because it may not just be your family that's creating the noise. It may not be your job that's creating the noise. It may not be the phone that you're carrying that's creating the noise. It may be things that you have no control over. But remember, this isn't about shutting down everything that you can control. It's about allowing yourself that time, that space that says, okay, this is our right. I'm not going to pretend I have nothing to do. I want to gain that clarity. I want to sharpen where I'm headed so I can set my direction. Use the space to prioritize what truly matters and craft your next move with conviction. Confusion leads to indecision. But clarity, you're like, I got this. Decision made. Let's go do it, right? The point isn't to escape the mess of daily demands. It truly is to find the quiet space where your mind recalibrates and your will grows strong. That determination begins to bubble up within you. When you own this silence, you walk forward with purpose, not reaction. You act with confidence, not hesitation. You decide with courage, not confusion. My friend, silence is not empty. It's full of power. It gives you the chance to write your story. And some days we need a rewrite too, right? But it allows us to write your story with clarity instead of contradiction. It lights a path through the noise and leads you to where your focus, determination, and hope reside. So don't wait for silence to find you. Seize it, own it, use it. Your next level begins when you choose to turn down the volume and tune in to what really matters. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Shh. The power of silence. Bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life, and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.